What up, everyone? Back for another video. This time we got some nerdy news. Things to talk about, things worth mentioning, things that I think are cool, things that you should probably know about. So, we always split it into the media and the collectibles. And we'll start out with the media. First things off, Spider-Man Far From Home dropped its trailer and it broke the internet. It set a world record for most views in 24 hours. But that's not the news. Everyone saw that. It was amazing. It looks absolutely fantastic. Everyone's super excited for it. It's going to be huge. I don't know if it would be say it's as bigger than the Avengers, but it's pretty on par just considering all that's at stake here. So, what's the news of it is not the trailer itself, but the rumors, again, not that came after the trailer, the rumors that have now been confirmed because of the trailer. So there's always millions of rumors, and most of them are bullshit. And most of the time, you don't know which ones were true until that thing happens. And then you go back and look at the rumors, and you're like, oh, this was true. This is a credible source. We can trust this person. So that's kind of what happened. There were so many things, rumors out there, and that trailer officially confirmed a lot of those rumors. So it hasn't been officially confirmed, but it's been unofficially confirmed that this is going to be a full Spider-Verse movie and that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will be in the film. Yes, hasn't officially been confirmed by Marvel, but so many things out there that are hardcore concrete evidence from trusted sources have been saying that for a while, and I think this trailer all but proves it. So that's so exciting. That's such a big deal. This is the first time we've had a live action of this. It's huge. I knew we were going to get an Into the Spider-Verse live action movie. We all kind of figured. The rumors started back when the original Spider-Verse movie came out, the 2D one. Those rumors started flying around then. So we knew we'd get it eventually because there's no way Sony would pass up that opportunity. We just didn't think it would be this soon. I didn't think it'd be this soon. I thought they would do so many more movies that they were planning before they do a Spider-Verse live action. This is crazy, and it's so exciting, and that's such a big deal. And I'm so just thrilled about it. But I am also bittersweet and bummed because that movie release date, I'm actually going to be out of town. I just so have happened to have planned a Disney World trip, so I'm going to be in Florida, and I might not be able to see it, which is such a big deal because normally I wouldn't care about movies like that if I have to see it later, but this one's too big. There's too many things that are going to get spoiled, and I have to figure out a way to see it while I'm there. So I'm very bummed, and I'm kind of secretly hoping it gets pushed back or moved up or something like that. So yeah, one problem I do have with some of these trailers, though, is that Sony and Marvel are spoiling way too much. This trailer wasn't bad. It was very, very subtle. We just saw Dr. Octopus, and it kind of hinted at the other villains. We know who they are, but it was just very subtly hinting at it. Because keep in mind, this was just a teaser. Most people don't realize this is a teaser trailer. This is the longest teaser trailer I've ever seen in my life, and the real trailer doesn't come out until they're expecting late October, maybe early November, around that time. That's going to be the official trailer, so this is just the teaser. And as rumor has it, that's when they're going to reveal the actual other Spider-Mans, which is the correct vernacular, by the way. People say Spider-Men. It's Spider-Mans. It's a fun fact. So that's supposedly, all the rumors are saying that they will show up in a trailer right before the movie's released. That may be the October trailer or maybe one more in December, and I don't like that. I wish they wouldn't do that. I know people aren't like us, me and you, where they know all the rumors and stuff like that, but that's so much. It's such a big thing to spoil in that movie, and I wish they would just keep it more under wraps. They did that with Shang-Chi, with the Abomination and Wong. It was really cool to see them, but it was completely spoiled by the trailer. Everything was in the trailer, and that was it. And it's such a bummer. So I know they're going to do it. I know they're going to show up in the trailer. I know those rumors are true. I just really wish they wouldn't. I wish they'd have a little more discretion. More like they did with like the Avengers movies, with Endgame and stuff like that. They held so much back and even altered the trailers to give you a wrong impression. So I wish they would go that route, but I know they're not going to. So it's kind of a bummer it'll get spoiled that way, but, you know, at this point, it's not like it's going to be a surprise anyway. It's just, that first moment when they're all on screen, I know it's going to be so exciting, and I'd rather it not be spoiled in the trailer, but, you know, it is what it is. So that's the only problem I have. I think they're just spoiling far too much, and that's just a bummer. And there's also a lot of rumors that have been flying around now. There's like half of the rumors are in the Spider-Man movie, the other half are in the Doctor Strange movie, because they are so directly correlated, and they're both going to just break the entire internet, because it's all, both of them about the multiverse. So the rumors from one could be in the other, and this and that. And now on to Doctor Strange. There are rumors that the X-Men are going to be appearing, supposedly Professor X. There have been multiple rumors, supposedly Patrick Stewart, that hasn't been confirmed, multiple rumors from multiple sources saying that Professor X will be in Doctor Strange, along with some other X-Men. And they already confirmed that it's not going to be Wolverine, that they tried to make it happen and they couldn't, which is such a bummer. It's very bittersweet, again, that I'm happy that there's going to be some hint of X-Men, but I'm also bummed that it's not going to be Hugh Jackman. But, that's okay. But again, that's just a rumor. It's just heavily hinted at. And again, multiple sources, so it's from trusted places, so there's a good chance it'll happen. But nothing is for sure. They could obviously change their minds before then. But again, they're so closely related, the Spider-Man movie and Doctor Strange, it's hard to tell which rumor goes where and which multiverse character goes in which spot. It's just total chaos. It's so crazy. So, very exciting time. Excited for both of those movies. We haven't gotten any Doctor Strange trailer, but I feel like we're already getting kind of a trailer because this movie leads so easily into it that I feel like everything we see in Spider-Man is almost like a trailer for Doctor Strange. It's so crazy. Very exciting time. This is what I've missed. These are the things I've missed. Nothing against the Marvel shows or Black Widow or anything like that, but these big Marvel movies, this is an exciting time to be alive. This is an exciting time to be a Spider-Man fan. So there it is, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. Then, Venom was postponed, the release date, and now it's been preponed. So they moved it out, and then they moved it back, which is, I don't think that's ever happened before. There's been movies that have been postponed. There's been movies that have been preponed, but I don't think there's ever been one that's been both. I don't think one's ever jumped out and then jumped back. Very odd. I don't understand why. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. If you've already planned to move it out, just leave it there. Who cares? Like, why move it back in? That's just, I don't know. It's very odd to me. So that's why I'm holding out hope, secret hope, that that'll happen with Spider-Man, that some miracle will happen, and it'll move 1 week in either direction. I don't care. Postpone, prepone, either way. I just don't want it to be that week. I want to be in town, and I want to watch it here with my friends on the opening night so it's not spoiled. So please, Lord, if anyone's listening, postpone or prepone the Spider-Man movie. But Venom has been preponed back to October 1st. So that's news. It's not really good or bad. I guess it's good. We get it a little bit sooner. Like, cool. Yeah. So we'll see it a little bit sooner. So we'll get a review for that in, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Something like that. So there's some news about that. Next, some big news from DC. They announced the DC FANDOME. And that's going to be October 16th, Saturday, October 16th. And it's going to be like all these companies are doing, like Funko FunCon or Disney D23. Everyone's got their own special thing. This is DC's, their FANDOME. And they're just going to have a bunch of trailers and announcements, and I'm pretty excited for it. It's good that DC's getting some momentum again, too. They don't have a ton, nowhere near Marvel, but that's okay. But they're getting some momentum, because the new Batman movie looks pretty badass. I know everyone hates Robert Pattinson. I don't mind him. I think the movie looks great, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. Hopefully they don't shit the bed. And then they have Black Adam, which, I'm mildly excited for. And then the Flash movie seems really cool, too, because it's the same thing as Spider-Man, where it's a multiverse thing. And, well, kind of. It's not technically a multiverse. It's more of a time travel thing. But in the same sense that we're getting older versions from movies that are becoming relevant again. Like, we're getting Michael Keaton's Batman and things like that. So, similar in that sense that I'm really excited for. And I think it's so cool that they're doing it. Again, so shocked that we're getting it so early. But that's such a big deal, not just because it's cool to see in that movie, but it makes all the other movies canon. Just like with Spider-Man, it's been one of the most rebooted franchises in history. It's been rebooted so many times, and it always annoyed me when they rebooted it. Same with Batman. It always annoyed me when they rebooted it because I like the old versions, and then they all of a sudden become irrelevant because there's a new version, and then each time they reboot it, the old movies become irrelevant. It's like, that's such a bummer. But now they're relevant again, and they're canon. So now, all of a sudden, they're all part of the same story, which is so cool, because that breathes new life into these movies. Because I liked The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Many people didn't. I liked it. But now it's relevant. Now it's canon. So the same with these Batman movies. I like the old Michael Keaton Batman. He was personally my favorite. And now it's going to be canon, and that makes it much more exciting. Now I can go back and rewatch these movies, and now they hold meaning. They don't just dead end because it got rebooted. Sorry, screensaver. It doesn't dead end because it got rebooted, so that's really exciting. That makes things in the past so much more relevant, so it's such a big deal. So excited for it. So there's that. Next, another trailer we got, Matrix Resurrections. And, okay. It's been such shrouded in mystery what this movie's supposedly supposed to have been about, and we finally got to see what it's about, and I was excited for it, now I'm kind of not. I don't know, I feel like they waited too long to make this movie. There's just too much of a gap, and as soon as I saw the trailer, I'm just like, man, everyone is so old. They're so old. And it's so funny because the night before the trailer came out, I just so happened to have rewatched the original Matrix. Because I love that movie. It's such a good movie. It's fantastic. I just, by total coincidence, went and rewatched that movie. And so maybe it was just that because I had just seen it the night before, seeing the age gap. And it's just like, oh, man, I don't know. I hate to say that people get too old, but it just seems too old. Even the action scenes with Keanu Reeves in, I'm just like, oh, he's just really old. It just kind of puts a bummer on the whole thing. So I don't know how much there is to be excited about. And the whole resurrection idea, it's reincarnations of the same character. And don't get me wrong, I'm happy that they're continuing it. I'd rather have the sequel than not, but I just don't know if it's going to be good. There's just not much for me to be excited for at this point. Not much to really sink my teeth into. I'll still see it. I'll still enjoy it, but I just don't imagine it being really great and popping off like they're probably hoping to with another trilogy or whatever they want. I just really don't see that happening, and that's kind of a bummer. It really is when they try to do a reboot, they try to do a sequel, and it just doesn't quite happen. It's such a letdown, but it is what it is. Matrix Resurrections. Other than that, PlayStation had their State of Play, a lot of video game stuff, and people requested me to talk about video game stuff. Nothing against it. There's just nothing that's been exciting me. Everything just seems so average. I really want a new fighting game. I keep holding out hope that someone's finally going to announce Marvel vs. Capcom 4, but I'm starting to lose hope that it just may never happen at this point. Because Smash is getting their last DLC character, and development's going to finally stop, and I need a new game to master. Not to play, to master, to get good at, to play competitively, to go to competitions for. I need a new game like that, and I keep holding out hope that NetherRealm is going to do that Marvel thing that there's been rumors about, but I don't know. So I see these games, and the Nickelodeon All-Stars looks interesting. I don't think I would ever play that seriously, but it's cool to look at. I might try it out. And, you know, the first-person games look cool. They look really good. I just don't really play those because I don't have time. So I'm sure they will be great, but I just don't really play them that much. So, again, it's for the people that want to hear video game stuff. It's not that I'm against it. It's just nothing's excited me, so I just don't have much to say. So I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. All right, let's move into the collectibles. Wolf is farting. Wolf sleeps right behind the fan that's there. So every time he farts, it just gets blasted, like right in my face, right there, instantly. Instant face fart. So that's happening right now. When they invent smell-o-vision, you'll be in there with me on that. All right, collectibles. First one. They announced some Eternals Funko Pop figures. Don't really care about the figures themselves. Hard to be excited because we have no idea what the movie's going to be. It could totally suck. We don't know. And I know very little about these characters. The interesting part is they're including trading cards in there in the pop figure. So I thought that was very interesting. And that's why, and I also just realized, like, I'm surprised they haven't done that up until this point. It's kind of surprising to me. That seems like such a missed opportunity because they're doing the whole NFT thing right now with the digital cards. And unless I'm reading this wrong, I think these are physical cards. I could be wrong. These might be digital. But as far as I was reading it, it's an actual physical card. And I'm surprised they haven't done that up until this point. So that may give these some interesting value because it just is a different side of things. So I might check it out just to take a look at the cards. But yeah, it was just something interesting to me. But other than that, it was hard to say if those pops will be anything crazy. Next, Thor Unleashed Deluxe Art Scale 1/10 statue. This looks really cool. I actually don't have any Thor statues. This one's cool for two reasons. One, it's very reasonably priced. I like these 1/10 scale. They're decently sized. They're a good price. They're not too small where they lose detail, but they're not too big where they're like $2,000. So it's reasonably priced, reasonably sized, looks really nice in quality, and in the background, if you notice, there's Throg. There's a little tiny Throg in the background, and that's what sold it for me. If it was just Thor, I'm like, oh, that's cool, probably won't get it. But now I see a little Throg in the background. I love Throg. Who doesn't? When he cameoed in Loki, I was so excited. I think he's a cool character. I hope he makes it in the MCU, so I might get it just for that, because he's just so tiny in the background and so subtle, and I like that. The same with like Alligator Loki. I like the animal versions of things. They're super cool. So yeah, I think that's a really cool statue. One bummer about it, which may be the deciding factor to keep me from buying this, is they did a cloth cape with the wire in it, which always seems like a good idea, but it's almost always not. When you look at the picture, you're like, oh, that looks way better. And when you first take it out of the box and set it up, you're like, yeah, the cloth cape looks way better than the statue cape. And yeah, sure, it does for the first week. And then after that, instantly not. It's like a vinyl record. Sounds better than CDs the first time you play it, but over time it degrades. Because as soon as it's out for a couple days, and as soon as dust hits it, it's just so impossible to get the dust completely off. And you're going to be constantly doing that. Every day, there's going to be a little bit of dust, and it's going to totally ruin the effect of it. So I really wish they hadn't gone with a cloth. In this one, it looks better in the picture. The picture looks great. But as soon as some dust gets on it, it just totally ruins the whole visual of it. And that may keep me from getting something like this, which is such a bummer. But Throg, very cool. Next, we got a lot of new things from Quantum Mechanics. So we also, there were some D stages that were announced, which are from Beast Kingdom, which are very similar to Quantum Mechanics. But Quantum Mechanics announced a whole bunch of series. They got some gargoyles, but the ones I saw, they're doing some Nightmare Before Christmas ones. Two of them they announced, which I was very excited for, and I was like, oh, I'm totally buying those. But then I saw the price, and it's $50 each one, because these are the Q-Fig Max Elite, the most expensive Q-Figs they make, which sucks, because it doesn't need to be that big. There's not enough detail in there to merit it being that size. They should have made them the smaller ones that are like the $20, $30 range. So I'm kind of bummed that they did that. If it was something more detailed, like the Sorcerer Mickey one I showed you, that one needed to be bigger. But this one just doesn't need to be. There's very little detail in there, and it doesn't need to be that big size. And that's so much to pay, $50 a piece. So I was very bummed out about that. But other than that, it looks cool. And I'm guessing the other Gargoyles ones, and they got some Avatar ones in here too. Most of them look cheaper, but again, they may be that $50 range too. They may just trying to up the price lately. So again, bittersweet. Happy to see it, but bummed that it's that expensive. Next, Funko announced more advent calendars. I really like these. I did a whole video last Christmas when I first moved here. That was like the first video I did on all the advent calendars. I think these are great. These are a great way to collect things because it's actually surprisingly cheap. Now, keep in mind, they have significantly upped the price on these. They used to be $30. Now they're pushing $60 just 1 year later. So they have upped the price, but even still, it's still worth it because you figure the price of a mystery mini, they're like on the cheap end, $5 or $6 a piece, and they're really not much different in size. And then the Pocket Pops are like right around the same, $6 or $7 a piece, but you get almost 30 for around $50, $60, so they end up being like $2 a piece. So that's just a really good deal. It's a really good way to collect a complete set and not spend that much money. And it's not just a set of 12, it's a set of 24. So, you know, and again, you go back and watch that video. They do a lot of variants in there, so it may not count 24 different figures, but still, it's very much worth the money. So I like when they do these because it's just a nice way to collect that set. So they announced the Pokemon one, which I'll definitely get, and the Office. I didn't get those mystery minis because I didn't like them enough, but this one I might get. It's cheap enough to where I like the Office, and I'll get the little figures. Those are cool. And they got some Harry Potter ones. I really hope they do another Dragon Ball set. I doubt they will, because the one they did last year was the first season of Dragon Ball. It was just the Saiyans. That's all it was. So I really want them to do more of those advent calendars and do the other seasons and characters of Dragon Ball. Or maybe just do one for Super. Something like that. I really wish they would. I doubt they will. But I would really want that. But I'll check these out. I think it's definitely worth the price. So yeah, check those out if you're a fan of those. Next, Funko announced some Pop figures, which these are just too goddamn adorable. They're gingerbread men of Marvel characters, but they're also pop figures. Now, it's tough to say like what they're really going to look like because they're just giving a straight on view, so you're just seeing the actual gingerbread straight on. I have a feeling when you get it and you kind of turn it to the side, it depends on how thick they've made it, if it'll look stupid or not. So if they kept the same like depth of a regular pop figure, it's going to look stupid. Hopefully they made it thin like a cookie. If they did, these are just so adorable. None of them are exclusive or anything like that. There's no exclusives here, so they're all going to be really cheap. I already pre-ordered mine from Target, and they were just $7 a piece. No big deal at all. So yeah, I'm totally going to get some of these. And I might even keep them all year. Maybe just have them for Christmas decorations. They're cheap enough to where you can just have them out for Christmas and then put them away the rest of the year. But I think these are ridiculously adorable, and I'm definitely going to pick some of these up as Christmas decorations. So yeah, those look too cute. And then the last thing in there was some more Funko Pop announcements, some more ad icons. I really love the ad icons. It's not a specific series that they're doing. It's just kind of a general classification that they do, the ad icons. It's just almost like the music ones. It's not a series, it's just a classification. But I really like these, especially the food ones. Like, I got the Kool-Aid Man and the Kool-Aid packets and the Coke can. So they announced more, and some of these look really cool. Like, they just announced, these are all games. A barrel of monkeys. Like, that's cool. And it's the barrel, and he's got little monkeys hanging off him. That's awesome. And they got one that's Play-Doh. And I can tell they're getting more and more detail, because most of the other ones, they're just what it is. Like, normally, the barrel of monkeys, you just see, like, a blue barrel. It's like, that's so boring. But this one, they actually added some detail. The barrel of monkeys has some monkeys. The Play-Doh actually has a little Play-Doh star in his hand. The Trouble piece has the game and game board in each hand. And then the Light Bright has one of the little lights in his hand. So I like that they're putting extra little touches of detail, because they'd be too boring otherwise. Even though they're cheap, it wouldn't be worth like the $6 or $7 because they're just too plain. So I like that they're putting some style in it. And then there's the Polly Pocket one, has a little Polly Pocket in its hand. So I like those. I love the ad icons. And I like that they're putting these little fine details in it now. They're getting more and more detail as time goes on. So things like that I appreciate. And I may get these as well. Because again, I don't think those are exclusive. They should be pretty cheap. So those are the things that I found cool this week, this month, things like that. Things to look forward to. Venom coming up in a few weeks. Next week should hopefully, I keep wanting to do my box review, but I'm waiting on a couple. Loot Crate's dragging their ass as per usual, like big surprise. I'm kind of waiting on them. I don't want to do one without at least one of their boxes, but I may have to. But that should be coming up next week, or if not very soon. And other than that, movies. Fucking movies coming out, man. Those look fantastic. Can't wait. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, the things I mentioned, things I didn't mention, things that you are looking forward to, things you want to hear about. Let's talk about it in the comments. Thank you all for weighing in. So, thank you all for watching and supporting. See you on the next video. Love you all. Peace.